Hi, pretty black girl. So, today I wanted to talk about how being pretty is a fun job. That is the title of this video. And I just wanted to talk about it because it made me think about when I was watching Bad Girls Club. I know, disclaimer, I used to watch Bad Girls Club. I had my time when I was watching it, but I don't watch it anymore. But there was this beautiful, stunning girl. Her name was Ashley from Bad Girls Club. I don't know, I believe it was season 6, and she was saying that being pretty is a job. And it just made me think that it is actually a job. However, to me, it is a fun job because I don't know what it is. There's just something about me getting ready and putting on my skincare and doing my hair, putting on my makeup, and doing my nails from time to time. And I think it's a really fun process that I go through every single morning and also at night when I take off my makeup and then I do my skincare, and I also take care of my hair and put oils in my hair on my edges. And I think it's a really fun thing because for me it's part of self-love that I appreciate myself and that I love myself so much that I take care of myself and I watch my own needs and what I desire to become, which version of myself I desire to become. And I know some people might be watching and being like, this is such a shallow thing to speak about and to worry about. Well, to me, it's not a worry. To me, it's more like a lifestyle. Being pretty for me is a lifestyle, it's a way of living. I appreciate my beauty, and that's why I groom myself and I take care of myself. And I think also this really stemmed back from me being younger because when I was younger, my mom would always take care of me. So I guess kind of had the laid foundation for beauty because my mom would always take care of my hair. She would put me in these cute braids, cute pigtails, and very cute outfits. My mom knew, she had a girl and she was really happy, and she would just always make me look pretty. And I think that's really what I got it from a very young age, that for me, looking pretty is just like a very normal thing. It's a normal thing for me to do my hair, for me to do my makeup. But for some people, it feels like they're performing. And I think that's where there's a difference. So for some women, they feel like they're performing when they're doing their makeup, they're doing their hair. They feel like this is not part of, what belongs to them, and that's also fine. However, for the women that do like to do these things, I just find it really ironic how people like to judge women when we do make those decisions to, groom ourselves and take care of our hair and put in our makeup and do our skincare. It's just a very judgmental space at times. That's why this channel is here, because this channel is a space where we don't judge each other for making the beauty choices that we make. And no matter which beauty choice you make, I think that that is your own choice. I'm here to tell you that any beauty choice that you make, it is your beauty choice, and you get to choose what you want. When it comes to your body, your face, your hair, it is your choice, and there's no judgment over here. It's a safe space, just so you know. But to me, taking care of my beauty, it doesn't feel like a job. It feels like a fun job because I just love, taking care of my hair and seeing the results, putting on my clip ins when I feel like it, or just doing my hair, putting on my skincare, taking care of my skin and seeing how my skin is elevated and looking better and plumpier, and also doing my makeup. I love especially doing my lips, putting on my lip liner, putting on a color. It just gives me this new, I don't know, it's, I think, a feeling that a lot of women that are into beauty can relate to, that, beauty can have its cons, but it can also have a lot of pros. And for me personally, the pros outweigh the cons. I don't even think there necessarily is a con when it comes to beauty. Yeah, of course, we have insecurities, but insecurities, everyone has insecurities. People can be insecure about their skills and whether they are, good enough when it comes to anything, but there's always going to be a con when there is a pro. That's just the reality of life. But for me, beauty does not feel like a task. It feels like a fun job. Some people think that it can feel like work, maintaining their hair, their skincare, their makeup, their fitness, and outfits. But for me, for example, let's talk about outfits. I'm really into fashion and I love fashion. I love looking at outfits, inspiration on Pinterest. I love watching runways and VS models. I really like fashion. I grew up with fashion. My parents had a boutique when I was younger. So I always was surrounded with fashion and looking at new clothing pieces, and my mom getting me in these beautiful pieces of clothes. I don't know, I just grew up with fashion. So for me, trying on different outfits, it feels like a relief. It almost feels like a good distraction, especially because, I go to uni. So distraction at times can feel like just a breath of fresh air because then I don't need to do any schoolwork. And that's also the same thing that I feel like with fitness. But when it comes to fitness, I like working out. It feels like I did something good for my body, but I also feel much more energized when I go out and go for a run. Because I think also fitness plays into the way how pretty you look like. Because when your body is right, I think it also impacts the way your face looks like. But for me, fitness feels like almost therapy because I notice that when I go out for a run, when I do a workout, I always feel good and energized. I always feel full of energy. So for me, it doesn't feel like a job. And I know people might be watching this video and think, what a shallow woman is speaking right now. And I mentioned this prior, but I'm going to say it again. But really, I think it's a fun job. It's fun. I know sometimes maybe you can have moments where you don't really feel like doing your hair or, your skincare or your makeup. But those are rare moments, maybe because you're tired or you're feeling a little sick or you just don't feel like it. But overall, if you're passionate about looking good and feeling good, because I think when it also comes to beauty, when you put effort into your appearance, it makes you feel really good. And I know you watching this can attest to this. When you put on your makeup, your outfit, your hair, you feel like a main character. And it reminds me of the song of Cherry, the main character song. I love that song. Make sure y'all go stream Cherry. Really, she has great songs. And I don't know, it just makes you feel like a main character. And that also makes your confidence boost because when you go out into the world, you put on this beautiful outfit and your hair just looks stunning and your makeup is on point and you just feel confident. And I think when it comes to also, side note, people envy beautiful women because oftentimes beautiful women, I'm not saying all, but they have this sort of cockiness because they're confident about the way they look like. And that's what people envy. It's like, how dare you be so confident and look beautiful? And that's what really people envy at times because you show up confident because you know that you look good. And the saying goes, you look good, you feel good. And it makes sense because you put effort into your appearance. And also, for me, I've been thinking about this as well. Like, if you don't put effort into like taking care of your hair, for example, your hair's gonna break off. If you don't brush your teeth's gonna start, getting bad and you're gonna have cavities. If you don't do your skincare, your skin's gonna start to break out. And all these things, if you don't maintain them, you end up being sick. So for me, it's really surprising how people can be so against beauty, but whole time you need to maintain your appearance to even stay healthy. So to me, being healthy is also part of your beauty because when you keep up with your health, that also translates into looking beautiful because oftentimes beautiful people look healthy. And that's not to say that when you're beautiful, you're automatically healthy, but that's the whole idea behind it. We gravitate towards people that are beautiful because they look healthy. They give this illusion of health. Their skin looks intact, their hair looks intact. You know, their face looks intact, they have good proportions, their body, it looks intact, because it gives the illusion of health. And that's just a human natural thing, to want to look healthy, and it translates into beauty. That's why the most of the people we look up to as beauty icons, they look healthy, they look fertile. And yeah, that's just a little another side note. But I think being pretty, it's a fun job. You know, you can just, take care of your hair and try to, I think also you need to try to romanticize, you know, taking care of yourself. Because for me, when I get ready, I make sure to put on some music and I get into this vibe and this beautiful energy. And I really enjoy myself as the process goes on. I don't dread, doing my makeup. I think that's really one of the most fun parts for me when I get ready is my makeup and my skincare and my hair. Where I like all of it, but I think my makeup is the part where I'm like, wow, this is really fun, and I really get super excited to get ready. You have to be excited to get ready and make it a fun job. Like, getting ready, I think also is such a privilege that you're able to sit down and get ready. And the fact that you can also afford those products, I think is privilege. And I think also another side note, I'm having so many side notes on this video, but maybe perhaps why people are also jealous of beautiful women is because they can see that they can afford certain type of things. Because when you have this beautiful hair, beautiful luscious hair, whether they're extensions or your own hair, it shows that you have the money to afford, I don't know, expensive hair care. And they don't have to be expensive, but people can see that you put effort into your hair. Or let's say, I think maybe makeup might be a better example, because when you have this, really beautiful face and people can tell that you put on makeup, oftentimes, that does come with a budget. It does come with some sort of budget, and it can be, of course, drugstore makeup, which is a bit cheaper, but still, you paid for it. It will cost you money, you know, or high end, that also costs money. So you're spending money to look good. That also can make people jealous, because it's like this person looked beautiful and they probably have the money to spend, to look beautiful. So people can also feel intimidated by you because they know you've got the bag to take care of yourself and your appearance. And also when it comes to your outfits, when you're looking very classy and really well put together, you have these really cute outfits, people can feel some sort of intimidated because they're like, whoa, this person looks really expensive. So they can also feel jealous about the fact that you can afford to look expensive, you can afford to look beautiful. Yeah, that's another side note, but beauty is a fun thing. Beauty is something that I think you should really romanticize, and looking forward every day to getting ready. I think it also really motivates you to really just get your things done. Because for me, for example, when I get ready and I look put together, it kind of motivates me automatically to get things done that I want to get done. So I think getting ready and really just taking care of your beauty is, I think, a manifest in of itself. And I know sometimes we have days where we don't have the strength to get ready, or we're tired, etc., etc., etc. We're human. That I do understand. I'm not saying that you should look well put together 24/7. What I am saying is that you should take care of yourself, and that is important. And of course, it can manifest in different ways. Not every woman wants to put on makeup. Some women prefer just doing their skincare. They're very into skincare and they know everything when it comes to skincare. But some women, they like skincare and they like makeup. And some women like skincare, makeup, and hair, and outfits, and etc. So just take care of yourself and your beauty, because I think, as I've mentioned, it is a manifest, and it gets you ready for the day and it motivates you to get things done. And maybe you're one of those people that can just do things done without getting ready, but I'm not one of those people. I need to get ready. I need to brush my teeth. I need to do my hair and put on my makeup, my hair, and put on an outfit. Just everything, the whole shebang, you know? And it just motivates me and it drives me to do things every day. And I think it is a fun job. It is a job because I'm investing in myself. I don't know why you wouldn't think it's a fun job. This is no shade or whatever, but I think that if it has to do with yourself, you're literally doing this for yourself. And also, another side note, I'm having too many side notes on this video, but I just have too many thoughts. I think also doing other people's beauty, to me, that's really fun. I love doing hair, and I do enjoy doing my sister's hair, for example, even my best friend's hair. I remember when we went on a trip and her hair was kind of tangled up. You know, she had these braids, and I helped her to like untangle her braids. And I don't know, I really did a great job at it, and she was so happy. And it makes me happy to see other women happy as well. But yeah, beauty is fun. Taking care of yourself shouldn't feel like a task. To me, it should feel more of like I'm investing myself and I'm trying to show up in the world as the best version of myself. And I know sometimes people say you're only doing this for the outside approval. Well, first of all, isn't that doesn't that kind of also make sense that you're doing it because, you know, when you go out in the world, people are going to judge you. It's a very natural thing to want to look well put together. But also, people don't forget that a lot of it is also for yourself because I personally, when I look well put together, it motivates me to get my stuff done. So I'm not doing it for the just for the approval for outsiders. I'm doing it mainly for myself. That should be your main drive, that you personally want to look good for yourself. I mean, if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and your skin is breaking off or whatever, your hair is breaking off, I don't think you would like to see that constantly. You want to take care of that and tackle that and help yourself elevate in better ways. But that's just my personal opinion. I think that for me personally, getting ready, that has always been something that I've romanticized. And as the years go by, I think I romanticize it even more and more and make it a very sacred moment that I get to spend with myself in the morning. I think also you really should start seeing getting ready as a sacred moment that you spend with yourself because how many people out in the world get to have moments for themselves? Think about it. Probably not. Well, I hope many, but I don't think as much when you really look at how our world is. And I'm not going to get political in this video, but you know what is going on in the world. And people have things going on in their lives. People have so many things that they're going through, and I feel for them. I feel for people. But if you get to have an opportunity to really just take time for yourself, I think that is beautiful, first of all, but also it's a moment of gratitude. You are appreciating your existence by spending time and taking care of yourself, by doing your skincare, by taking care of your hair, by doing your makeup, putting on your outfits. I think you are, in a way, showing gratitude to whatever you believe, that you are in this very present moment and you are capable to even get ready. Think about it as well in another way, that you're capable to get ready. There's many people that are not able to get ready. Think about that because of some sort of illness or whatever it is, but you are literally, you got up in the morning, your two legs are functioning, and you're able to get ready. Beauty is not just, you know, a superficial thing. I think, as I've mentioned, it also has to do with health. And for me, health is really, it's vital for me personally. And the fact that I get to get up and get ready, for me, that is a moment of gratitude. And I feel so much happiness when I get ready. I don't know how much I can emphasize this, but for me, getting ready is a moment of joy, is a moment of gracefulness, is a moment of glory to God, to the universe, that I get to get ready and wash my face and put on my skincare and do my hair and do my makeup. And I get to see the beauty of myself. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for my parents, for my genetics, for, I don't know, it's just, for me, it's very simple. And I think, as I've mentioned prior, My mother really laid the foundation when it came to beauty, and she taught me so many things when it comes to my hair, my skin, and I'm very grateful for that. But I want you to also feel a sense of gratitude, not just, put on that makeup because, you have to and you have to get ready and this and this and that. Don't feel as if like it's a force, but look at it as a sense of gratitude that you get to even sit and put on your makeup. As I've mentioned prior, the fact that you're even able to afford makeup, that is gratitude right there. So it's a fun job because it has so many layers, and you can appreciate your beauty. You can sit there in the mirror and appreciate every tiny detail of yours because that makes you you. You look at your beautiful eyebrows, and maybe it reminds you of your mom's eyebrows or your dad's eyebrows, or maybe your grandmother, someone in your family reminds you of your beautiful eyes, that they're so striking and stunning, and you're putting on this mascara and elevating your eyes even more, or eyeshadow. Maybe you have your mom's eyes and it just reminds you of your mom, or you have a merge of both. Your nose, it's, a blend of your parents, your lips, your cheekbones, your ears, your hair, your skin tone, etc., etc., etc. Getting ready is a fun job. I'm gonna say this throughout the whole video because it is a fun job. It is fun and it is beautiful that you get to have a moment to yourself where you can just sit down, and I hope you can relax. I hope you don't feel rushed. Also, speaking about rushed, make sure that every morning you make enough time to get ready. I really despise people that rush their mornings. And I'm not saying this to be mean or whatever, but I guess I learned it from my dad to really take my time in the morning. And he would really emphasize the fact that you should not rush your mornings. You should take your time, wake up on time, early to bed, early to rise. And I really took that with me as I, went to uni and now I'm staying on my own. I took that with me along, and I really make sure to wake up on time. And I don't mind. I'm gonna wake up on time, and I make sure to go bed early. And also, I get tired pretty quickly, actually, starting to become like a grandmother. As you get older, I feel like you just get more tired. But make sure that you spend your time properly and don't rush your mornings. I think mornings, I think this video is somewhat becoming a little bit spiritual in a way, but I think that beauty is not just physical. I always say this in my videos. It really has a lot to do with your internal beauty. To me, a beautiful woman from within, there's just something about it, and it reflects on the outside. I will never talk here about just your outer appearance. I will also emphasize your inner beauty and you being a beautiful woman from within. That is important to me, at least. But I mentioned that rushing your mornings, I think, is really not a great thing. I know a lot of us, we don't have time, but as they say, you really can make time. I'm telling you, if you had gone to bed maybe an hour earlier or 2 hours earlier, your morning would have probably looked a lot more simpler and easier, and you probably would have not forgotten to take something along with you, or forgot to, I don't know, put the socks on the right feet, just little things like that. Or you forgot to put on your eyelashes, you put them wrong, or you used the wrong thing. It's messy. Rushing your mornings is messy. It's not going to end up to you having a nice day. And if you can spend just time and take your time to really do your routine effectively, it's gonna make you feel a lot better. And it's also gonna make your day feel better. I think that taking your time is really what matters. It matters to take your time. And yeah, just take your time in the mornings and spend time with yourself, because people, in the world and everything around us, it doesn't look so gloomy, but you can make your mornings bloomy. You can have this positive aura within you and take time to get ready. And also, just appreciating your appearance. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Appreciating the way you look like, I think, is necessary, especially in a world where we constantly like to nitpick our beauty and looking at what we can perfect. And I'm not saying that that is wrong, because obviously you want to perfect certain type of things. And I'm using perfecting loosely, because there is no such thing as looking perfect. I mean, there is, but when we talk about perfect in our society, we mean that there's no flaws. And quite frankly, we are human and we have flaws, because we're human. But just taking your time and getting ready, and nothing has to be quote unquote perfect, because you're human. You're going to have little flaws, but those flaws make you you. Those flaws make you unique. And in a world where people are constantly trying to look perfect, it's nice to have authentic beauty. And I'm not saying that, I have mentioned, do whatever you want to do with your beauty, because it is your beauty. But for me personally, I like the way that I look like, and I hope that you like the way that you look like. Having, beauty enhancements when it comes to makeup, hair, that's, to me, that's fine. I guess people have their own beauty limits. Some people want to go a bit more further. They really want to take it to the max level, and they, have surgery and plastic surgery, etc., etc. But that's your own personal choice. I'm not going to judge that. But beauty does not have to be perfect. There's beauty in beauty that is not perfect. That's just my opinion. But take your time and appreciate your features. Appreciate you can get ready. Appreciate taking care of your hair and seeing it grow, or taking care of your extensions and switching up the different hair colors, hair textures, hair lengths, and etc. etc. It makes you look different, and I think it's beautiful looking different. Also, another side note, how many side notes am I gonna have? I think looking different is fun. Like experimenting with hair, something that I really like doing, switching up my hairstyles. It's fun, because for me personally, I kind of get bored when it comes to having the same hairstyle. And, I might have like some braids. But when I've tried all the different hairstyles, like the pigtails, like the ponytail, and etc., etc., low bun, I get tired and I want something else. I want maybe the clip ins. For me, it's a fun thing, it's a fun job. Being pretty is a fun job to me, and that's why I like to invest in my beauty. And I like switching up my looks, because it makes me feel somewhat different, and I'm sure you can relate to it. You kind of have this different aura when you switch up your look, and you feel like a new person. I mean, we all know that feeling when we get our hair done and we're feeling like a whole new person. We're acting like we're some sort of different human being, which is fun. I think that's the fun part about beauty. Also, when it comes to your makeup routine, here and there I will follow a makeup routine just for funsies. You might not have all the products, but you can try and have a different look, and it will make you look slightly different. Slightly this different look that it will create on your face and have a different effect, and you feel some sort of like a different person, just like with your hair. Also, when it comes to outfits, trying on different outfits, that is also fun. You can experiment, and I think tap into different characters. I really like tapping into my office siren. I get this quite a lot. When I go to uni, people tell me, you look like an office siren, and I really do like that compliment. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, I think do have a style, because I, have been told that I have this really, I have a aesthetic in a way. And I like the office siren look, the model off duty look. I kind of like those sultry looks. I think they look good on me. But tapping into your different looks and different aesthetics, it's a fun thing. Some people feel like they are kind of, masking or not being authentic to themselves if they try on different hairstyles. They feel like they're being a fraud or that they're not being real and raw. But to be quite frank, nothing is really truly real in our society if you think about it. Our society is full of fakes. Let's be honest. The food that you eat is probably not real, too. The chips that you ate last night, that's not real. The chocolate you ate last night, that's not real. And I'm not calling you out for eating chocolate or chips. Go eat them. That's not what I'm trying to say, but it's just that everything is so ultra processed in our society, and people criticizing beauty as if beauty has not been part of the human existence. That to me is quite hypocritical, and it's very two-faced. It's very two-faced, and I think it's also another way to humble beautiful women and kind of stripping them away from what they actually love doing. Because I think a lot of beautiful women like looking beautiful, and I would hope that they like, the process behind doing their beauty routines. And I actually believe that they do like the process behind taking care of their appearances. So yeah, it's just, I think it's a way to humble beautiful women into not looking beautiful. And we're just not going to fall for that trap and that rabbit hole, because we know that we feel good when we look at ourselves. And also, when we go into society, we benefit from it. Let's be honest, pretty privilege is a real thing. And people do judge people based on their appearances, whether you like it or not. That's just what has been happening for since humans have ever occurred. It's just that we live in a more digitalized society, so the judgments are pretty much more blunt and open. But people have always judged people. So, yeah, I think taking care of your beauty is something that should be fun. Being pretty is a fun job to have, unlike the job that you go to every single day and get criticized by your colleagues and people around you. At least when you look at yourself in the mirror and you take care of yourself, you're the only one looking at yourself and you're having fun putting on your little lipstick and lip liner, mascara, etc. At least that is a fun job, unlike the job that you go to every day just to only make a bag. Just saying. But no, I'm just kidding. But low key not. Anyways, I think being pretty is a fun job. And yeah, I hope you liked watching this video. And that was it for today. Stay beautiful.